Welcome back to the Intersint podcast. This is episode 30. How are you doing, Kenise?
Good. Sleepy.
We have this extended weekend because for us right now, it's Thanksgiving vacation.
Yes. Happy American Thanksgiving, everybody.
Even though when you're hearing this is now like a month later. I mean, and it's also one of those things where it's deceivingly cold outside, where like,
yes,
right now you look outside, the sun is out, I'm like, oh, it looks so nice out, and it's like 20 degrees.
Yep. And it's only going to get worse.
It is. I hate it. It's like, can you at least be gloomy and like not look so exciting outside?
Don't make me want to go outside.
Exactly. Like I'm excited to take the dog out, then I get outside, I'm just disappointed and cold. But with Thanksgiving, we had Black Friday.
Yes.
Yesterday, as of recording this. We accidentally participated in Black Friday.
So, wow, I squeaked.
Now you're the one squeaking. Now you're going through puberty. It's not just me.
Yay. Anyways, so I had this thing of like, I needed to get stuff. And initially, I wanted to go on Thanksgiving morning.
Yes.
Completely forgetting that it was Thanksgiving and I had like plans to go out until you mentioned it. And I'm like, oh wait, I should probably check to see if they're even open. And they weren't.
As you were already driving though.
I made you check as I was driving.
Because you're like, hey, I need to go buy shoes. Do you want to come with? Because I needed to buy shoes too. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I mean, sure, I'm not doing anything today.
Right.
And the reason I didn't question it at first is because you were already going, so you were confident in going. And like, she must know something I don't. Apparently they are open. I didn't know that. So fortunately, like I checked for you, it was closed.
Yes. So then we were like, okay, let's just go the next day. Completely forgetting that is Black Friday.
Every single year, I'm like, I hate Black Friday. I don't want to participate in it. And every year I participate in it accidentally somehow.
Yep, same. I think it's mostly because it's like we have the day off and then it's just, oh, let's get ahead of what we need to do and what we need to get done. That we just mistakenly just go out.
It's like, it's the day after a holiday and you're like, the day's off. Let's go do something. What can we do? And then you're like, let's go to the mall or let's go to a store. Completely forgetting what day it is after Thanksgiving every single year. So on top of that, aside from it being Black Friday, we went to the mall.
Out of all places.
Out of all places to go. The worst one to go to is the mall. We went. Which I think that was how this showed how much road rage I can have.
Yes.
On top of it, like just trying to park our cars was the most road rageful event ever.
Yep. People were just fighting for spots or like not even knowing how to drive.
That's the thing. I was thinking, what is it about Black Friday where you're just all driving etiquette goes out the window, all driving knowledge goes out the window, and you're like, how do I operate my machine?
That's like every day though here.
It was worse.
It was worse yesterday, but it is every day here. Like, oh, I don't know how to drive.
And I don't want to stereotype this, but it was all Teslas. That was the biggest problem.
Yes.
One guy was in the middle lane trying to turn over to the right, waiting his turn, and he got impatient and flew up and then cut off people in front. A second Tesla right behind him was also in the middle lane, and he tried to do the same thing. I got pissed. I turned my car into the middle lane. I'm like, you are going nowhere. You are staying in the spot where you are. Hit me. I don't care.
And it'll be your fault. But that's like Teslas and Mercedes too. Because like, as I was turning in, I was like at least letting some people go. So like traffic wouldn't be held.
Yeah.
But then it was like, oh, that car is so far ahead that I can make my turn safely. But this one Mercedes wanted to like just cut me off and started beeping at me too. I'm like, bitch, and I just flipped him off too. And I'm like, no.
This is how your tires get slashed whenever you leave your car.
I basically had my finger next to the horn, just in case. Don't try me. I'm not playing games today.
We need to get you a little button on your car that like you rewire the horn to this like quick button behind the steering wheel so you don't have to hit the middle part. You just like, it's a finger trigger on the back.
Mine is just like a little button on the steering wheel.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Like it's not like a push thing in the middle. It's just a little button on the bottom of my steering wheel.
How did I not know that?
Maybe because we haven't driven in my car a lot. It's always you driving.
Yes. Or if I am in the car, you're not in road rage mode, so I don't realize where the horn is. Next time we hang out, I need to see where this button is, because that's really cool.
It's not like a button, it's like a little section on the steering wheel.
It's like a quick fire horn. Just
pretty much.
The way to road rage safely.
That what makes a Subaru.
And the thing was we didn't even... You needed some stuff. They were sold out of all of it.
You needed stuff. They were sold out of it.
Yep. So we just we got a few small items that we needed.
Yeah.
But that was it. That was our day. And the thing was it's like, okay, we're going to leave at 1 and we'll probably be back by 3, maybe, tops. Because I need to grocery shop as well.
Yeah, I did too.
I didn't get back until 5:30, maybe 6.
Yeah, same.
So it was
a waste of a day.
What a day. I just feel bad for all the employees too. I don't want to be part of their problem as well.
Yeah.
But then I always accidentally am. So I
always am.
So I'm sorry, everyone. Imagine you have to one, you have all the turkey and stuffing and stuff the night before, so you're just tired and you're full.
Yeah, a lot of people are hungover.
Yeah, and they're I gotta wake up at 2 a.m. to go get ready for work. It's that's terrible.
Because that's a lot of some of the friends I know, they have retail jobs.
Yeah.
So it's kind of oh, what time did you get up for work tomorrow? I'm I don't have work.
The absolute worst was working Starbucks on Black Friday.
Oh, I bet.
I had to be there 2 a.m. to get things ready because it's let's open early because people are going to be out shopping. Fuck you. I don't want to be it.
You know what's worse than that, though? Working Burger King on NFL game days.
Oh, that is...
I had to do that in high school, and that was just chaos for 5 hours. And I'm just people, go away. I don't want you here.
Is it just giant orders too?
Mm-hmm. People just go in the drive-thru, just trying to order 10 of each thing, and I'm go away.
The worst. Have you ever experienced this too? Because you lived in the college area.
Kind of.
Well, where you worked for that.
Oh, yeah.
Back whenever I worked at McDonald's, it's just everywhere in Pennsylvania is the middle of nowhere, kind of.
Okay.
So the one night it was closing, and the guy showed up, and I knew him because he was in my high school, and he ordered 30 McChickens, 30 double cheeseburgers.
Jeez.
We're about 10 minutes from closing, and he orders all this. I'm you motherfucker. I hate you so much.
It's I hated you in high school, and I hate you now.
I know. Did you ever have that at least? I would feel with college kids, it's oh, we need to go because they're about to close.
Not really. I think a lot of college kids will just go down to bars area, in that vicinity.
Oh, okay.
And so we just had a lot of homeless people show up.
Oh.
And a lot of families, and they would just order a shit ton at 9:30 at night. I'm go to bed.
Why are you so
up?
late? And with the Starbucks thing, yeah, it sucked, and we were only allowed 1 free coffee an hour. But when you're waking up at 3 well, we never cared anyways. I drank 5 free coffees every 10 minutes.
That explains a lot.
Hey, Starbucks was my gateway drug to coffee.
I mean, that was nice because we never really had anything for us. All we could have had was drinks from the
fountain,
the soda machine.
Yeah.
But that's about it. And there's this one time where some kid working the kitchen, he's I'm hungry, and he took chicken from the back
freezer.
No, from where you store the food to
oh yeah,
make. And as he was opening it, the district manager walks in, sees that, and fires him right then and there. I'm oh
wow,
shit.
I used to do that all the time at McDonald's. I would grab nuggets, put them in my apron, and then go back into the freezer to go check for stuff, and then just sitting on a box of burgers, just eating my nuggets.
I would do that, but with either tater tots or fries.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, Burger King had tater tots. We didn't have that luxury. All we had was fries.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it was great because that was when was that when the Wii came out? So everyone wanted a Wii. That was the new hot thing that everyone needed to get for Christmas.
Okay.
Every store was out. So what we were doing was we were getting information from other customers, like, oh yeah, how's the Wii hunt going? They're like, oh yeah, so the Target has like 5 left. So like every customer that came in, they're like, oh yeah, we've been trying to find a Wii. I'm like, oh yeah, Target has like 5 left if you hurry. Like we just found this out. Meanwhile, it was like 2 hours later. And they would just book it out of the store and run to their car to run to Target.
Like, fuck the Starbucks.
I was like, this is the easiest job today. Like, we just gotta keep telling people where Wii's might be, and then they're just gonna run out of the store. So it was a pretty nice day. We just got to clean and drink coffee and tell people where things aren't what we think they are. See, as much as I hated that job, it was so nice that, like, on slow days where I just got to sit around and drink coffee, like...
Yeah, we were just on our phones, like, in the back.
Oh, there you go.
Or, like, because a lot of us were friends in school, too.
Oh, okay.
And so either we just were on our phones or, like, just hanging around in the back.
Exactly, yeah. Like, if you're friends with someone or you just made friends at work, and then whenever it's just a slow time and you just get to have fun, that's always, like, the best thing.
But there is something that you did.
What did I do?
So recently, Stardew Valley came out with I guess a symphony, a concert.
Yeah.
But you sent it to me, and I was like, oh, immediately you're going to get this.
Mm-hmm. So what happened was a friend texted me late at night, and she was like, oh my God, you got to check this out, because she's a huge Stardew fan as well. And I didn't even know this thing existed, but it's a symphony that tours around the US, Europe, and Asia, and Canada.
Is this the first year they're doing this?
I think it's as far as I know, this is the second. It could have been more.
Okay.
So it's, just a symphony that plays the Stardew music. And I'm like, I am all on board for this. I love this.
Aww.
Did not realize how big of a disaster this was going to be.
Right.
Let's just backtrack. A month prior to this, pre-sale tickets going on, I was like, I'm going to get ahead of the curve and schedule maintenance on my car. Hey, you know what? I'm off on Monday. Let's do it for Monday at 9 in the morning. That sounds like a perfect time. I can wake up, get my car there. Boom. Pre-sale tickets come out. Guess what day it is? Monday. Guess what time it is? 9 a.m. Oh my God.
To the point where you text me and you're like, can you buy these for us?
I gave you a money limit. I'm like, here's the maximum amount per ticket, because I asked if you wanted to go. You said yeah. Here's the maximum. I don't need any questions. I don't care where seats are. Here's your maximum spend limit. Spend it and I'll give you the money afterwards. Just run and be free. Have fun with that.
Go wild.
Oh, and then also tie into this that you were picking me up from the mechanic because it's an all-day thing.
Right. And it was close enough to my work where I could have done it. So you were just like, can you do this? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, buy the tickets, and then you can come get me after that. So I get to the mechanic, and I'm like, I got all that taken care of, and I text you because it just hit 9 o'clock. I'm like, okay, what's the situation on the tickets?
What's going on?
And then what did you tell me?
I sent you a screenshot of the symphony, I guess.
Yeah.
Of how they are doing maintenance on their website exactly at 9 a.m., exactly when those tickets dropped.
Yep.
And you could not access that site from anywhere.
Nope.
I tried refreshing it multiple times. I opened multiple windows, multiple tabs. Nothing. I opened up the Stardew website where they were hosting it on, clicked on their thing, and that was a dead link. And I'm like, well, that's our luck.
Yeah. What timing? But all these things are just converging into one moment. So then you come get me. And the entire time you were coming to get me, the entire drive back to my place, I'm refreshing the page over and over again. Like I'm staring at my phone, not stopping on the refresh. I get back inside, like you drop me off, then you head back to work.
Yeah.
And I'm still refreshing. I'm like, okay, how is this still down? Because at this point we're at what, 10 o'clock?
Around, yeah.
So I go back to the Stardew site like you did, and I click on the link, and it takes me to the site. I'm like, how long has this been up and live? Like I've been refreshing the other page and it's been down. So I load it up. I'm like, cool. Enter the pre-sale code. And I'm like, gotta get my tickets. I'm excited now. And I go to jump in. Congrats, you're now waiting in line. Motherfucker.
Hello,
We just
Ticketmaster.
talked about this.
Yep.
I was so mad. And I'm like 700th in line. I'm like, tickets are going to be gone. I'm being so pessimistic. I'm like, there's no shot I'm even going to get a seat.
Aww.
So I'm waiting for tickets to go. And I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm going to start making breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting all my food going. My phone. I went in and changed the display on my phone to never turn off. Because with my luck, I'm going to forget about it. And it's going to be like, you're next. And I'm going to, an hour later, oh yeah, I was supposed to buy tickets. So I'm going through that. It's getting closer. And it's going down, 50, 40, 30. I'm like, sweet. I'm about to buy tickets. There's like 2 people left. Then I get into it. And then what happens whenever I get into the thing? My food is done. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is my time. I have to buy tickets. So I'm like, okay, I hurry up, pull out the food. I don't even prep anything at that point. Like, it is cooked, it's sitting there. I'm like, it can go cold for all I care. I need to get these tickets. I'm rushing through. I pick my seats and now I need to create an account. I can't just continue as guest. So I'm making an account now. Then I got to go verify my email, come back. And it's like, okay, now I got to enter my card information. Start to do that. And then what happens? The mechanic calls me. I'm like, I am trying to buy these tickets. Why is the universe against me today?
Oh.
So I didn't answer. I sent them a voicemail. I'm like, I will call you back.
You have more important things to do.
I hate the timer on tickets where it's like, you have like 10 minutes to get this done.
5 minutes, yeah.
So I'm just rushing through. I made the payment. And then at the end of the day, I got the tickets and I was happy.
Yeah, you did it. And meanwhile, I was just at work in my morning meeting, oblivious to what was going on to you.
I know. I was like, at this point, let the fire alarms go off in the building because I'll be outside of the apartment.
That'll track.
I wouldn't even be far. I'd be standing outside of my window, getting the Wi-Fi signal still to hurry up and get the payment going. I'm still here. Don't go away.
Stop it.
Which, because of that, you've never played Stardew.
I haven't.
And then you bought Stardew for Black Friday.
I did. So, backtracking years now.
A lot of years at this point.
We started to get to know each other because you started playing Stardew.
Yes.
And every morning I would just be nice and make conversation and be like, oh, how's the game going? Just trying to be nice.
Because I was venting all the time.
You would vent about this one fish that you could
eel.
not get. For the life of you, could not get.
I was so mad about that eel.
From that, I basically was like, in my head of like, I need to be careful downloading this game because if I'm anything like you, it's going to consume my life.
Yes.
And I don't want that.
Yeah, and you heard a lot about. Well, I never really told you too much because I was like, if you ever play this in the future, I don't want to spoil too much about it.
Right. So yeah, Steam had like an annual sale. I bought a few games. You bought a few games. Stardew being one of them. How's that going now, by the way?
Yeah, so then I bought it. And I'm like, even clicking the buy button, putting in my information, I'm like, this is a mistake. I know this is a mistake.
And based on what you were telling me, I was like, I shouldn't do this as I'm putting in my card information. Now, these past few days, it's like I'm a drug addict, and I'm just like, no, I want my Stardew.
Do you understand the whole one more day in the game?
Yes, I get it.
Oh, but one more day and I can get all this stuff done. And then you got to do one more day and it's like, or you're done with that day, but then you check the weather the night before and it's like, tomorrow's going to be all rain. You're like, well, that frees up my entire day tomorrow now and I can do so much more stuff. So, yeah, I had nowhere to go on Thanksgiving. My entire Thanksgiving day was spent playing Stardew.
I think initially when I got it, from the time I got it to the time I went to bed was just playing Stardew. We had other stuff that we needed to get done.
Yeah.
But this took priority.
That's all I've been feeling. Last night, I needed to do stuff for a podcast. And I'm like, oh, but I can just I could do one day in Stardew and I can put this on. But then I'm like, I told myself, you know that one day doesn't exist. It's going to be like 10. And on top of that, we've also started the co-op thing. So we play together now.
Yes.
But that's a little bit of a problem too, because it's like,
we instigate each other a lot.
Instigate, but also how much do I explain to you? Because a big thing is I want you to experience it on your own.
Yes, yeah.
And I don't want that to be ruined by me saying, oh, do this, this, this. Oh, we got to do this and this. Like, I want you to play the game how you would play it. And then after you experience it, then we could play together and like be more involved with it. But it's something I was thinking too. Like, we could probably turn this into like a Let's Play as well.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like both of us playing Stardew.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, maybe something like a bonus thing we could do for the podcast. Something to keep in mind for the future. We'll see when that happens. But aside from all the Stardew talk, you were saying right before we started, you had something you wanted to talk about.
So as you were getting prepared, I was just scrolling Instagram because I had everything all set up.
Right.
And the first post that shows up on my Explore page is Sick New World has been canceled for next year.
What?
Why? Just announced the lineup. I don't know. No one knows yet why they're canceling it.
Oh, wow.
Like, they just announced the lineup. They just announced tickets. Like, everybody bought tickets already.
Hopefully they can get refunded.
Well, they're saying you can, but it's like, explain why first. Like, what fell through for you to cancel the entire festival?
Because that's in Vegas, right?
Same location as When We Were Young.
Oh, okay.
Same company that runs When We Were Young.
Well, that's concerning for When We Were Young then.
So now I'm just like, it's a good thing I haven't bought tickets for anything yet, because I need to see like what goes on here.
Well, now we're going to see what When We Were Young looks like. So. Yeah. Because I think pre-sale is already done with that.
Pre-sale has been done. They haven't announced a day too, so I don't know if they made enough sales on that lineup.
Oh, true.
Because this next year they're doing like pop punk, but like also more heavier music. So like the very metal sounding bands.
Metal sounding bands.
I don't know like what to specify it as because it's just different bands and they all have different sounds.
Yeah. I can't remember what ones were on that lineup, but I remember looking at them like, ooh, this is kind of nice. I like this one.
The only one I do remember is like Knocked Loose is on there. Oh, because that's another band I've wanted to see.
Every time you told me about like, oh, let's go to a Knocked Loose show, I'm like, I
don't want to get beat up.
But then again, I think I was just scarred from the Pittsburgh experience of Knocked Loose.
Oh.
I think people out here are more mellow, so I don't think it's a problem.
Well, yeah, because I think Pittsburgh is more music heavy.
Yeah.
It's a musical city.
Yes.
In a sense. Seattle is too, but we're more chill.
Yeah. Speaking of Knocked Loose, they just played Jimmy Kimmel.
They did. I saw the video.
So you told me about this.
I did. A while back.
I was like, all right, that's hilarious that they got into Jimmy Kimmel. But I was imagining in my head how he's at his desk and he's like, all right, playing a song off their new album, blah, blah, blah. This is Knocked Loose. And then the camera pans over and they're like in the studio
like on
still.
The stage, yeah.
So I was imagining that. They just had a whole second stage built.
Yeah.
Like outside for them to play.
They had a whole show just for that event.
Yeah.
Somebody filmed the entire set and put it on YouTube. So I was like watching the whole thing and I'm just like, geez.
So, I mean, Knocked Loose isn't a typical band for a Jimmy Kimmel.
Do you want to really explain what they are, like what their sound is?
They're just straight hardcore. Like they are the classic hardcore band, except they're like the new age hardcore where it's just non-stop in your face heavy and they never give you a break to not be heavy.
They don't allow you to breathe.
That sums up their entire genre there.
Yeah.
So apparently a lot of people weren't happy to see Knocked Loose on Jimmy Kimmel. There are now reports going on that they demand that Jimmy Kimmel and the program apologize for putting Knocked Loose up as their musical performance.
To give a sense of what kind of bands and what kind of artists go on Jimmy Kimmel, think Sabrina Carpenter, think Miley Cyrus, think like
Kanye,
think like, what's like a band?
What is a band?
Not a single artist, but like a band that would have gone on Jimmy Kimmel.
Like Linkin Park probably would play.
And those are the type of artists and bands that go on Jimmy Kimmel. So to have Knocked Loose on there, well, it makes sense too, because they are nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how they blew up so much.
I really do think it's because of TikTok.
You think so?
A lot of like these bands that are now blowing up, like Sleep Token, is because of social media.
Oh, yeah. Sleep Token was 100% because of TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in a band, get your sound into TikTok with something, and then you're probably gonna blow up. So the people weren't happy about this.
You can already put a face as to what kind of people weren't happy. There is a generalization here.
My favorite quote from this article, and it had me crying laughing earlier when I found this.
I was reading this. I know exactly what you're going to say.
This guy says, I was sitting on the couch with my son, who is an adolescent, all caps, waiting to see the musical guest because we like the nice music the show usually plugs. By the third or fourth junt, my son was in tears. He doesn't like scary things.
Okay, you're dying. He doesn't like scary things, and quite frankly, I think the Kimmel Show and its staff should make a formal apology.
I love how they call it a junt. Which I quite frankly, that's a great way to describe that sound.
You're not wrong.
I love imagining this guy sitting on the couch with his son. And they're like, who do you think the musical guest is going to be, Daddy? And then, John.
Suffocate!
Then he runs up to his room crying.
Papa!
Because from that day on, he was scarred for the rest of his life.
There's also another commenter who was like, how do I sing along with this? You don't.
They say, it actually started to hurt my ears.
Then turn it off. People who listen to this have no room to complain about crying babies or screaming 2-year-olds taking a tantrum.
And it brings us back to the whole Olympics thing, how we have Gojira opening for the Olympics. Now we have Knock Loose on Jimmy Kimmel. Like, this is a big year for like the heavy music scene, and I think that's a great thing.
Oh, yeah. I think it's like a lot of the whole nostalgia thing, but then it's also like a shift in what's being discovered. Like, I think a lot of people are just tired of hearing the same thing, the same sound over and over and over again. So it's like, let's venture out.
And it's great too. Like, if you love or hate her, Poppy, we're seeing more and more women joining the bands now, which is, I think, a big help into it as well. It's more inclusive now than it ever was in the past.
Like, every other band was just all guys. With the very rare occasion of a female lead vocalist.
I'm thinking of like old young baby Mike turning on MTV and seeing Arch Enemy, which has a female screamer. And I'm like, girls can do that too? Blew my mind. And I was like, that's incredible. Boy, but aside from the whole music and Stardew, we've been talking about music and Stardew this entire time.
Yeah. Let's switch gears here.
We're almost done with the podcast, and that's all we've talked about.
We had a list of several items here. Only crossed off like what? 4? 3? But you sent a link of something that I've never ever want to experience a day in my life.
When I saw this article, I knew that was in the direction.
Why did you have to send it to me and ruin my experience with roller coasters? Apparently in Arizona, there was a ride where one guy was basically almost all the way up on the first hill, or the first
climb. Before
the drop, his lap bar unlatched.
Yep.
He heard a click and he was like, okay, yeah, this isn't what the chains sound like. Felt his bar and it became unlatched. And he jumped out of the roller coaster onto the side, like emergency ladder.
Right before it went down over the hill.
Right before it went downhill. And this roller coaster has like, 2 loops?
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that part.
This roller coaster has 2 loops. And so if he stayed on, he would have died.
And I'm right there with you where this is a huge fear of mine too. Because there's so many accidents that happen where latch bars just don't lock. And so it's just like, you would think after all those times where it happens, like we learn and things get safer. But then it happens again. It's like,
but Arizona doesn't have regulations on the inspections and safety of amusement park rides. And so, like, obviously, like, if there's not going to be any regulations on it, a lot of these people are just going to be like, okay, yeah, whatever, it works.
That's like whenever you go to a fair, and like now being an adult and looking at these rides, I'm like, these are just death traps that someone put up in the middle of the night. And people are just riding and having a fun time.
Pretty much. I mean, like, for me, whenever I go on rides like this, I always make sure myself that I'm secure in.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know how you would have missed that, too, if you were doing a proper check, which I guess they probably didn't.
Putting myself in this situation, I'd be the one to be like, what do I do? Like, I don't want to be rude and jump out of the roller coaster.
Be rude? How would you be rude?
For me, it's just like, I'm not allowed outside the coaster. Is my mentality.
I see that. Yeah,
so
I see that. Like,
I'd be the one who dies because I was just like, but I don't want to get anyone in trouble for me standing on the side.
See, this is why I've been telling you need to work on being a little bit more selfish.
I do. What would you do, though? You're going up the hill and you see the lap bar unlatch. What do you do?
I honestly don't know.
See, your first response wasn't jump out, so you probably be dead too.
Like, for me, that probably would have been my second response. My brain doesn't work that quickly to be like, okay, I need to get out now.
Still on Internet Explorer speed.
Thanks. I mean, like, I think that goes for everybody. Like, if you were thinking about that situation, it wouldn't be your first response. Unless you physically actually go through it, like, you don't know what your response is going to be.
True. Now, would you ride through it knowing, like, if there's no loops?
If I was strong enough to hold the lap bar down, yes.
I don't think anyone would be strong enough to hold themselves in, per se. I think your risk of falling out is a lot less if there's no loops.
Yeah. Because the lap bar only goes so high that you have to, like, physically get up and, like, squeeze your way out of it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Did you see the video?
No.
Look at the video.
Oh, yeah, there he goes. Oh, yeah, he's struggling to...
Mm-hmm. Like, his leg was caught.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Especially knowing the drop is right there.
Mm-hmm. Like, you could see him, like, falling onto the ladder, like, at the very, very top as it was going down.
Oh, this is terrifying. Imagine he pulls himself from the coaster and then accidentally falls over the railing and then falls off the top of the coaster down. Anyways, it's like a Final Destination. Like, nope, you're avoiding death. You were supposed to die there, so now you need to die this way. It's one of those things that's just, it makes me look at amusement parks differently.
The more I research, like, the background and the history of rides, like, I love roller coasters. I love, like, heights. I like thrill rides. But the more I'm, like, reading into this and the more incidents that I look into, and I'm just like, maybe I shouldn't be.
This is one of those things where I'm glad I get motion sickness easily now. Because now it's just like, oh, no, sorry, I can't go on. I get
That's
sick.
my excuse.
Age sucks.
Thank you. I have something to look forward to now.
I woke up. I did nothing. I just got out of bed,
got
ready, and I was taking the dog outside. And it felt like my ankle was broken.
Oh, geez.
Like, all I did was sleep. What did I do in my sleep to cause this pain?
Okay, that's something happened to me that I wanted to bring up to you. Have you ever, like, gotten out of bed so weird that, like, your side, like, right here starts, like, hurting?
No.
Like, pinched. To the point where it feels like your appendix is, like, about to burst?
I've had that where I, like, have to really fart. And I felt that same pain.
Okay.
Did you have to fart afterwards?
No. It felt more like my appendix was just, like, twisting.
Oh.
And I don't know if that's normal or if it was just me, like, getting up in a way where, like, my body just didn't want to twist that way.
Probably that one.
Okay.
Welcome to the old people's club.
Yay! I made it.
You already just wake up broken from time to time.
I apparently punch and kick in my sleep. I think you've been witness to that.
I have witnessed. You had to go to a doctor's appointment, so I brought you. Or something. I went with you for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
You were falling asleep driving.
That's the day I was like getting sick, huh?
Yeah. So we didn't realize that, but we get down to the doctor's. You fell asleep on the waiting table. You told me about this because I was outside waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah, I took a nap while I was waiting on the doctor. So on the drive back, I'm now driving the car.
Yes.
And you passed out. And we're just driving. Then all of a sudden, I see your fist fly out from your chest. Like, did you just punch the air? And I thought you were awake. Nope. And then like we were at a red light and I looked over and you like punched again, like a little baby punch. I'm like, are you fighting in your sleep? What are you doing?
It makes sense as to why I wake up with bruises.
100%. Now I understand completely of why you wake up with the bruises all over the place. All right. Well, I mean, I didn't expect the end of the episode to be here so fast.
No.
Sorry if you don't like music or Stardew. If you don't like junting.
Maybe learn.
All right, well, I mean, what a weird episode, but that's going to do it for this week. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Go follow all of our socials at Intersint Pod.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.